true Hollywood story of Garbage Juice. Garbage Juice, a once successful band in the late 1980s, now an uber-cool all-girl group of the new millennium. Here, we will show you how it all began. It all began, as most bands do, in a garage in Sweden. Hans Janen, a self-taught guitarist, had been introduced to Maria Andersson, more famously known as Dutch, a classically trained pianist in high school. The two hit it off right away, played together in local pubs and outdoor festivals by the name of Guten Tag. But it wasn't enough. They developed a more rockier edge. Maria was experimenting and growing and developed a much more punk edge in which she legally changed her name to Dutch. Hans then followed, and with the addition of blonde beauty Frida Frank singing lead vocals, Garbage Juice was born. They wrote and produced their first record, The Look, which got tons of praise and radio play, quickly followed by Dress for Success, which hit #1 in the Billboard charts. However, with the sudden success of Garbage Juice, it was in danger of being in the fast lane to failure. By now, Dutch was clearly recognized as the brains behind the operation, and was also gaining more attention and fame than the other two. It was her creative genius that sprung them from out there 80s group to an international phenomenon. But in the shadow of her success, Hans and Frida found comfort in each other. In addition, Hans no longer communicated with his family over money issues and had written off his parents and 2 brothers. Things were looking up for the pop trio from Sweden. They had just released their 6th single, which went straight to #1 in the US chart. But things took a turn for the worst when Hans's excessive drinking and violent ways took a toll on not only the band, but his and Frida's romantic relations. After the couple split, the band began to deteriorate, and after only 6 hit singles and 2 self-produced albums, the band split up.
That love for support, your little piece of heaven turns to gold. Listen to your heart.
The year was 1993, and in the 6 months that Garbage Juice had disintegrated, there was a new musical era beginning, starting with none other than Desh Mel, a Swedish solo artist whom the band had known for quite a long time, Hans's brother. Desh Mel and Hans had fallen out over money and fame, leaving Hans with no contact with his family. Hans was determined to get the group back together and outdo Desh Mel. So for one last hurrah, Frida, Dutch, and Hans toured as Garbage Juice and produced one last album. They gave Desh Mel a run for his money on the charts as well as with the fans. It was clear that the world was ready for Desh Mel's soulful songs. However, he only had one hit song, Total Eclipse of the Heart, and then disappeared from the music scene.
Now and then I fall apart, and I need you now tonight, and I need you more than ever. And if you only hold me tight, we'll be holding on forever.
Meanwhile, Frida and Desh Mel had secretly started seeing each other behind Hans's back. The relationship didn't last long, but the lying and deceit would later devastate Hans. By now, the group had been through so much, they decided to take a clean break. They fired their Swedish manager, Johannes Berger, after embezzlement of funds and an alleged affair with their personal assistant, Bernadette, and hired an American agent, Freddie Lavu, to take over. Hans stepped out just before recording began. He didn't think he could do another stint, and returned home to Sweden to reconcile with his family and change the direction of his life. In 2000, with only 2 members left, Frida and Dutch decided to ask longtime friend Simone Spartanova to join and make an all-girls supergroup. Simone was talented and already an established artist in her native Poland, but needed that international exposure.
All I wanna do is find a way back into love.
So Ratface was born. They had 14 albums and 31 hit singles.
Once I ran to you, now I'll run from you. This tainted love you've given, give you what a girl could give you. Take my tears and that's not really love. Tainted love. Now I know I've got to run away. I've got to get away.
Simone married her longtime Mexican boyfriend Raul after learning she was pregnant. The band finally decided to call it quits after 17 years. Today, Simone lives with Raul in Mexico City. They have 5 children and 1 on the way. She does part-time modeling in the city for international designers. Frida married millionaire Richard Allcroft and opened up a bakery in London's West End called Ginge. They have 2 children, Sam and Rita, and plans to expand her bakery empire are planned for this next year. Dutch had an on-again, off-again relationship with former manager Freddie Lavu. He was accused of infidelity, and Dutch soon married Bjorn of ABBA fame. They now live in Sweden with a built-in ice arena and bowling alley for their favorite pastime. It is said that Dutch and Bjorn host an annual get-together at their house in Sweden for the former members of Garbagejuice, Ratface, and ABBA. And whatever happened to Hans? He and his brother Dishmael made up and now do freelance producing for independent artists from their home recording studio in Sweden. Dishmael eventually came out of the closet in 2005, and Hans married Olympic figure skater Marcia Svinn in October 2005, and they now have a son called Danson.
Show, kicking with your torso. Boys getting high and the girls even more so. Wave your hands if you're not with a man. Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
I got, you got, we got everybody. I got the gift, gonna stick it in the goal. It's time to move your body.